Hey everyone, Wander here, and welcome to Feed the Reactor. It's an incremental game about feeding a reactor. That's pretty much all I know about it, except for the fact that it's made by the developer of Journey to Incremental, which was a game that I absolutely adored last year, and I've been trying to keep an eye out for any other games made by this developer. They did make the Count of Monte Clicker, which I should go back and play. But this is a new incremental. Well, I guess the last one was, I don't know. I have never read the Count of Monte Cristo, and so I don't have that like connection point. But this is original and seems interesting. So, unlock upgrade panel. So basic fuel and an igniter. I have a smidge of resources. Interesting. So I'm dropping resources in, and I guess they just bounce around and give me resources. So remove all fuel and elements from the reactor. I see. So as these get removed, that's interesting. So we have to dump fuel in, which the igniters will burn and give me resources. Okay, this is different. Too many incremental games just kind of follow the same pattern. I thought this was going to be like a Buster style game, but no, this has like an element of resource management, which I'm actually very interested in. Okay, so we can add extra fuel and increase our fuel HP. We might as well go for a little bit of those and work our way up. So also, not being a Buster game means that the upgrades are just going to be present on the right side. I'm a little bit worried what would happen if I just had 3 igniters and no fuel. Probably bad things. Let's not do that. Okay, so eventually we're going to have to care about the rates at which we output these. Okay, I think that was a mistake. Yeah, I was curious what would happen if I had a couple of these. The answer is they get toasted. So yeah, the igniters slowly burn the fuel down. But we do have to contend with the physics side of things. We're trying to reach a threshold so I can unlock auto fuel. Which I'm assuming just automatically dumps this. Okay. Injects automatically when on. So now we just drop resources whenever it's available. Alright, nice and easy. Alright, next up is igniter damage upgrade. Now we might want to get another igniter. I don't think we need it at the moment. I think it's better to just have as much fuel as I can grab. At least for now, these 2 igniters seem generally good enough. Okay, I'll switch up to 1 more at the moment. There we go. Because I think having 4 fuel is good enough. We just want to make sure that it's getting burned down as fast as we possibly can get it. And work our way up. Let's see, is there anything else? Energy upgrade, so we're going to get other tabs. This is based on thresholds, but there's only so much I can do with that. I should probably just keep going for material quantity whenever I'm given the chance. Because the fuel HP is nice, but the more fuel I have present, the more that's getting ticked. Because we restock the fuel pretty consistently here. More HP would matter more if this was constantly, like, filling up, but it's not. And so it's a little lower on the priority listing, at least for the moment. Let's see. Anything else for this? No, not too much. So definitely a little bit more on the idle side of incremental, but I'm not against that. As long as it's not the, like, full, what is it, antimatter idle, that is just, like, pure idle, no real substance. That's one that I frequently just kind of tune out on, because it just does not excite. I think we need more rather than HP, but I could be wrong. We're, like, dancing on the threshold, and I don't know which is more valuable. So we're trying to get that igniter damage upgrade bonus. I think part of it is the less things that I have, yeah, there we go, bouncing around in the center, the more likely we can get that igniter damage up. So this means they're just going to burn through fuel that much faster, which is good. Means we might want to look into getting another igniter. Hard to say. I'm liking the music. It's kind of got a nice ambiance to it. I almost kind of wish there was like a visualizer element to some of these games. Like, I miss the days of visualizers, weirdly enough. I don't know if this is like a I don't know, implying my age a little too much. But let's see, do we actually want to get another one of these? I think so. Let's go back to that. I think we want to probably have about 8 fuel in play. 4 is just a little too low. 1 is definitely way too low. But I think whenever I have like 6, at least 6, then I can, or okay, whenever I hit like 10 more fuel than I have invested in igniters, then we can buy another igniter. Because I think 6 is about the rate where we start. We always have something to drop. Currently we're at 7. Whereas if you notice, we're starting to like cap to the point where some of my, this isn't firing them fast enough to get them out onto the field. And like we can also balance that out by just boosting fuel HP. Let's see. Anything else for it? I don't know, just talking or thinking about the whole visualizer thing. That's, you know, if you were like a 90s, 2000s kid, listening to music on your computer, I think these still exist. I think just people don't use them anymore. But you would have like, generated like, it was like an algorithmic thing. It would effectively read the waveforms on the music and create like a visual that would bump along to the music. I mean, you've seen it before, you just maybe haven't seen people talk about it as such. Even if you haven't encountered these things recently, or if you're just too young to have encountered them growing up. But yeah, so you just like have your computer running with speakers, and it would, your monitor would just be this kind of shape in the background that would just be pulsing with the music. It was fun. Now I think everybody just has like Spotify up, and I don't think Spotify or Google Music have visualizers built in. I don't think iTunes does either. So I'd probably chalk this up to iTunes' fault more than anything else. But some of the other like music player programs like Winamp would specifically allow you to import like a whole host of different... Oh, okay, fuel per second. Oh, so that's how much we can offshoot. Okay, so now rules are off. Dump as much fuel as it possibly can grab. Let's see, next reward, research tab plus flask upgrade. I'm not seeing any of the build crafting that Incrementalia had. Also means that I can't, oh, shoot. What was the dumb meme? You would discombobulate. There we go. I was thinking ear clap because that's what it is, but no, it's discombobulate. We haven't discombobulated anything yet, and I find that a little bit disappointing, but understandable. It's kind of mesmerizing. I like that. I don't know. What I was going to say for the whole wanting more of these idle incremental games to be visualizers as part of it is mostly just the idea of like, why not, right? I realize it would be that much extra effort. But on a personal level, at the very least, I think it would be really cool if some of these did react to the music that was playing in the background. I just also know that a lot of incremental games are made extremely quickly. Even this one, for example, you know, Count of Monte Clicker came out in the middle of last year. Incrementalia came out October of 2024. So, like, the developer is very much burning through these games pretty quickly. And, you know, releasing them, not exactly what I'd say en masse. Okay, there we go. But they're not spending, like, massive amounts of time developing them. And so as part of that, I guess, going through the effort of making, like, an incremental visualizer probably isn't necessary, especially if that's not the core concept of the game. Oh, probably shouldn't do that. So what I'm trying to balance here, though the game's pushing me towards this naturally anyway, is I'm trying to have it so that my igniter damage is enough that all of these are... Oh, wait, I can push them around. Oh, that's interesting. That the 5 igniters that I have are enough to wipe out all of the fuel cells with their bursts, kind of, in like one cycle. So we spend the least amount of time as possible with those tiny little orbs bopping around. Unfortunately, the bursts are kind of small. And so hopefully we can extend the AoE size at some point, probably. And we definitely could take some more orbs too. Hopefully we can get a upgrade or two that increases my overall, like, igniter AoE size. Because that'll definitely smooth things along a little. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to try and intercede there. I could, but I just don't think it's worth it. What does this button do? Doesn't seem to do much of anything. What if the pausing is it saving? Probably. But yeah, ideally what we'd like to do is get it so that this is constantly outputting more or less everything. I don't know. I don't actually know which is more valuable. If having my fuel stick around or having this constantly bumping. I guess it's probably better if it's... if things are sticking around to take those extra hits. Kind of. That's actually a tough question on this one. I mean, realistically, quantity, these two matter, these two don't. As long as we're not stacking anything up, this upgrade is meaningless to me. As long as... I guess we could probably get this up to 100. If I've got 5 reactors, this should be at about... this value should be about 5 times this one. I guess the smaller the orbs, the more of them that can kind of pack into a small space. So I guess we can work on getting my fuel HP up a bunch. I don't know. I'm trying to do the math in this in my head, mostly based on gut reactions and feelings, which is not the most scientific. Luckily, it's an incremental game. I don't need to be precise here. Some games you can really like math out the like mathematic efficiency of everything. And it's like, okay, no, this is the upgrade that's going to provide the most amount of DPS or whatever. I don't think it's going to work on this one. Unfortunately, it does kind of suffer from the sit here and wait and watch as resources tick up slowly. Which isn't bad, but does put me in that position of just, like, sitting and waiting a lot. I think that's why I usually bounce off of the, like, hard incremental, or the hard idle incremental games. I like the more, like, semi-active ones. But I also get the distinct feeling this is going to be one of those that gets there, or at least never becomes more idle than this one, hopefully. At least that's the way it was with Incrementalia, that I was always constantly managing, micromanaging, or setting things up. I think there were a couple of moments where I was definitely like, okay, I'm just going to tune out for a bit and just let the game run itself. But obviously from like a YouTube perspective, well, YouTube video perspective, on like a time perspective, pull back the curtain a little bit. I only have so many hours to record in a given day, somewhere kind of between lunch and dinner. And it's a bit long. We have our lunch at noon and we have our dinner sometime around like 7, 8 o'clock. So that gives me roughly a 7-hour workday. Assuming I don't get woefully distracted by something. But from like a recording perspective, that means I can record somewhere around 4 videos. 7-hour workday? Yeah, like 6-7 hour workday. But that means that on a good workday, I can get about 4 videos done. Because it takes a little bit to like set up and, you know, figure out what I need to record. I guess I should probably spend my upgrades. Probably should have just gotten another one of these in retrospect. Oh well. But you know, it takes a little bit of time to set up and record, figure out what game I'm playing, read my emails, respond to comments, say if I have to release a video day of, or like record a video and release it the same day. That obviously slows things down tremendously in a way that I really don't like. Unfortunately, those days have become a lot more common now that I don't do series anymore, because with this series I can record like 50 episodes and just dole them out on a daily basis with one-off impressions videos. There's a lot more like preamble and prep and learning and tutorialization and footage to cut. And so the thing I struggle with a lot of idle games is very much the, boy, nothing's happening right now. And it's mostly fine. You know, we're getting there. And I'm assuming as soon as we get above the research tab plus flask upgrade, both of those are probably going to speed things along dramatically. And so the push and pull with this kind of thing is like, well, yeah, I could cut my recording and speed through the part that is essentially boring. But there's no guarantee that that's not going to be true for like a lot of things. And so one way I can specifically record idle games that are boring, you know, ones where you have to wait long amounts of time between things happening, is to like alternate record this video in like 10-minute chunks and then let it run itself and accrue resources. And then kind of check back in on the regular and do like another 10-minute chunk periodically. That is a way of doing it. But even then, it cuts down efficiency. And so the more weird fiddly bits that I have to do like that, the less videos I'm able to record in a day. And so it becomes kind of this weird push and pull, because I love incremental games. I love idle games. I love being able to kind of sit back and relax and let the game happen while I'm kind of messing around with its mechanics and getting to enjoy what it has to offer. Yeah, I think we just need a little bit more fuel HP. At least I'll start with the fuel HP and we'll see if we can get that up. Okay, so we now have research flask. Increase the amount of research in each flask produced by the flask factory. I have a flask factory? Not sure. Oh, okay. So this is research per second. So it unlocks the fuel injection boosting pump, igniter damage by a lot. Research per flask, fuel HP, obtain material times 10, and heater element. I mean, frankly, I think we just go for whatever's cheapest. So we just have a secondary research that we can work with. Okay, so we can pump this. Doesn't seem like the pump is the most interesting thing. So it just increases how much I'm able to output. That igniter damage boost is pretty good. And yeah, this is definitely speeding things along. Now, do we actually want to grab this one? Save up a little bit more? I don't think so. Well, good. I don't think it helps amazingly well. What's the next one? Obtain material times 10. I'm really curious about what material... Oh, that's these things. I think we go for the concoction, but I think then maybe we skip. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep working on these flasks. This is still giving me stuff. Okay, so the pump definitely lets me output a lot more than I'm normally fielding. Yeah, it gives me like an extra 9. But yeah, let's get that research up. Also, I've noticed that the visualizer is now turned purple. Well, visualizer. Whatever you want to call it in the background. Yeah, so I'll just have to hit that pump periodically. That's a short cooldown too, so yeah. We just want to hit this whenever we're given the shot, or given the chance to do so. Yeah, do I want to effectively double my fuel HP? I think so. We may also want to get another igniter at this point. Okay. Because I'm actually... probably get 2 more. There we go. Because we don't want these bouncing around. We want them to burn as fast as we possibly can. Go for another one of those. Yeah, do we want more? Probably just research per flask. Yeah, I'll just snag that. What's the next one? Enricher elements. And upgrade tab. Now, is there an element of... I'll have to check this. If there's an element of, like, exponential gain. This one's flat, but this one's going up by, what, 3.4? This one's going up by 1.5. I'm assuming a lot of these are flat. Because that's always been a hard 1.5. But yeah, just a flat 10 material is probably good. I'm just trying to decide if it's worth it to go, like, out of my way to boost any of these. Not really thinking so. Okay, so let's see if this goes up by another 3.4. Um, 3.5. So maybe this one's going up a bit, or it's like 3.45. I don't know. Okay, pretty close to the next material threshold. And next is Flask Factories upgrade. So that probably pumps how much science we're able to put out. I'm assuming the science upgrades are somewhat how I'm scaling how fast these, well, scale. There we go. Yeah, one thing I really liked about Incrementalia that I'm not getting from this one yet is Incrementalia did a really good job of giving you constant choices. Right now it's mostly just a, like, I have a limited amount of resources, which one do I put resources into? Or I have a limited amount of options, which do I put my resources into? Which almost always is just go for whatever the cheapest one is at the moment. Okay. I'm gonna buy 2 of these. And just kind of boost them up. Yeah, luckily, pumping has, like, almost no cooldown. I mean, it does, but it's not super, it's not terribly slow. Let's see. Now, I should probably focus most of my efforts on just boosting these. At least at the moment, because we're pretty close to hitting that next reactor level. And that should unlock something new for me. I'm not benefiting as much from the add material, just due to the fact that pump gets me a ton. And then also we already have a decent amount of material fuel in play. Yeah, I just don't know if that's enough to carry it. Hence why I'm thinking going for either igniter damage or fuel HP to sustain while pump is offloading a bunch. Will get us over the hump. Hard to say. Okay. And yeah, you can definitely tell there's a jump here. I mean, I guess there's the higher tier concoction. Yeah, let's just bump that a little bit. I wonder if having the higher fuel per second increases the amount that pump outputs. Yeah, because it is definitely giving me 12. Oh, okay, so it just increases total material by... Okay, so I don't think the extra fuel per second really makes a difference here. Yeah, so... I mean, I guess I might as well go for the heater element. Then probably concoction. As soon as we get the factory upgrade, science should go faster, obviously. And yeah, I'll keep increasing that just because it does boost how much material I have in play at the moment. We may also want to just get another one of these. Let's see, do I want igniter damage? Probably. Okay, so let's see what the heater element does. I guess we're still a little bit off of it. But we're certainly close. There we go. Okay. Increase heat multiplier, which multiplies... Oh. Okay, heat multiplier, adjusted igniter damage. Okay. Get 2 more of these. Had some huge damage right there. Only immediate problem is don't have enough fuel to toss in. Yeah, I could potentially nix the amount of igniters that I'm rolling. Yeah. The one problem is too many of the heaters, and we literally don't have enough space for everything. Okay. So I think we have to leave it at 4, at least until we can increase the AoE of these. Oh. I can also boost the heater buff a bunch. Because yeah, if we can get it so that each heater is enough to actually one-shot these. Alright, well, we'll get the Flask Factories upgrade. Additional flask factories. Oh, that's huge. Yeah, so every bit of resources into this for the moment. I was definitely thinking the flask factory upgrade was going to make a huge difference as far as scaling research. I did not realize that it would just be multiplying my overall output by so much. Okay, do we want to get one, two more? The other one is like the heater buff would be good. Because yeah, this is going extremely well. And yeah, we don't have anything really stacking up, so we don't need more fuel per second. I guess I'm just going to keep going for the cheapest upgrade. Now, this is a conversation I had with very light conversation with the developer of Billionaire, talking about incremental games and how, like, build crafting is super important to me within them. Because, yeah, otherwise you just, when playing, you kind of brain off and just buy whatever the cheapest upgrade is. And I think this suffers from that just a little bit. I think it's mostly fine just because there is like a very noticeable bonus. I'll talk about that in a second. Or noticeable change as I buy upgrades. More of those. I guess I should probably just go for my basic damage. Get extra resources per flask. Yeah, things are speeding up. I just want to scale my research bonus if I can. Considering research is kind of my biggest booster at the moment. This one's nice, but it's going to take a while. Yeah, what do we want? Hard to say, really. Because it's mostly just waiting for this, so I could go for just a ton of fuel HP. I don't think it really helps me too much. It does, but I think we want to go for fuel enrichment more than anything else. Yeah, radioactive fuel. Yeah, some of those seem like they're going to be quite good. Let's look at another flask factory. Work our way up. Okay, so I was talking about build crafting. The main problem I am having at the moment is just I don't really feel like I have much agency apart from what do I put my limited amount of resources into. Which, like, there is agency to be had there, but it is very much constrained, hard by lack of choices. Fuel enrichment. Oh. Multiplies the max HP of all fuel. That's okay. Oh, interesting. Because I have 9, it's condensed this down into a ×9 one. You know what? That actually is kind of neat. I like that. Yeah. I think I'm still going to be putting my effort into research more than flasks. That's igniter damage, radioactive fuel, and relevant energy tab upgrade. I think I'm still going to go for material science. Then we can go back for energy density. We are close. But yeah, so the lack of agency on this one, like, I'm starting to get there just due to the sheer number of tabs, and I'm kind of like skipping things, but even then it's still kind of on the limited side. Okay, now for sure, we need at least a couple more of those. Especially with pumping giving me just that much more. So the thing I would say that this game does do well is that I actually have like a very tangible view of what's happening. And like what I am accomplishing as a result of like what I'm doing here. And so that ends up actually feeling quite good. So even though I don't have much agency, the fact that this whole thing has changed pretty dramatically over the matter of a couple of minutes can't be denied. And, like, that's a good feel. It's why incremental games are supposed to be good. There's nothing sadder than an incremental game where your, like, core gameplay loop or resource chain doesn't meaningfully change over the course of a playthrough. That you just end up feeling kind of painfully static. Hopefully there's an upgrade for auto pumping at some point. Just so I don't have to worry about it. Just falling a bit shy. I think this might get us over, and 10 more material is huge. So next up is Harness tab. Okay, I could probably use a little bit of fuel per second. Okay, what I really, really want is to make it so the igniters actually have a bigger AoE. Because until we get that, this is going to be very restrictive. I'm probably going to go for radioactive fuel, just to see what that gives me. If we're lucky, that's a new fuel type, and will change things. At least somewhat dramatically. Oof. I wonder if they made it so that you can specifically move things around because of this potential issue, where the igniters literally can't reach. It's possible. Yeah, what else do we have? More research for flask. There's a huge jump here. It's making me wonder if there's another big research boost locked away in here. Okay, how much am I sitting on? 18. Could probably do 2 of those. Yeah, the problem is I have a cohort of igniters that just end up getting stuck in the middle and can't do much with it. But what else am I going to do about it? I think irradiation is probably going to give us the boost that we're looking for next. Maybe. Okay, just keep dumping these down. I actually wonder if having too much fuel per second is creating some of my problems, because when I pump a lot of them all at once. And I'm wondering if it's one of those where they actually are stacking on each other too hard. Okay, radiation. Releases a radical when destroyed. Radicals increase the base energy multiplier for a short time. Oh, so the radicals are the little boosty dudes. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, so that's a bonus. And then there's something about resonance, which sounds fun. I do appreciate that this is an interesting take. Okay, we now have the harness tab. So igniter damage or volatility. Oh. So we effectively are pumping resources into boosting these things as we go along. Okay, so that energy... Wow. Well, I appreciate this is doing the incremental thing incredibly well. Stuff just takes off in a very good way. Alright, let's just boost my fuel max HP. Okay, then I'm just going to go back to igniter damage. Fortunately, it's going to take a while, but it's fine. Okay. 2 times harness upgrades. Okay, so that... Or, no, that wasn't that. I actually don't know what the upgrade we just got was. Okay. Keep boosting those. Okay. Well, stuff is happening. It's just like chaos. Okay, harnesser effectiveness. Ooh, and materialization is going to make things pop off in possibly a bad way. Okay, now we have officially too many things. Let's turn off auto fuel. Let's see how much material I stack to. Something like that. Yeah, the problem is we have a lot of igniters kind of in the center. Oh, hold up. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn everything off. So I'm going to have these comfortably sit in the center. Okay. There we go. So the reason for this is now hopefully we have a bunch of igniters on the edges and the stuff in the center is going to work better. Let's boost that igniter damage. Wow, we had a lot of resources. Probably should have put that into flask factories, but it's fine. Okay, how am I doing research-wise? I guess I might as well grab the igniter damage bonus. Okay, back to igniter damage? Sure. Okay, oh my god. That's just 30 more material on top of everything else. Okay, prestige points. Uh-oh. Okay, so we can prestige. Preview. Okay, so some of these are kind of expensive. I also have 0 prestige points. I guess I'm gonna have to boost this up. Alright, so some of these are kind of expensive, but we are doing well enough that I can probably just max a bunch of these upgrades out. And keep pushing them. The main question on prestiging is when. I mean, we seem to be doing absurdly well. Okay, so how many prestige points? I've got 9. Research is still a fair ways off. So I guess the real question is... base energy multiplier times 5 times. Okay, that's pretty good. Wait, can I just do them now? No. Okay, so I have to prestige to get these. Resonant fuel. So authority increases that. Core material cost is reduced to 9. Igniter cooldown time. Pump is pumping. Okay. I'll think about it. Like with some of these games, you really want to wait. On those prestige points. Because some of them can actually be like massively... Some of them are massively useful. Okay. So far so good. It seems like a lot of these are just getting me prestige points, which is still good and valuable. Okay, fuel density, more materials, explosive fuel. They're just exploding automatically. I'm not entirely sure if that's supposed to be what they're... Huh. Well, that was interesting. I think they were exploding prematurely. Yeah, the problem is I need both of them, question mark? So I'm not sure how to feel on that one. What else do we have? Igniter damage, research, fuel per second, core elements. Some of these are really expensive, is the tricky part. Okay, we may also want to get some more heaters. Maybe. And things are burning pretty fast. So it's kind of hard to tell. Which is the most valuable set of upgrades for me. Yeah. That should be good enough. Okay. Oh, they're not auto-exploding this time around. Oh, I see what happens. It creates a weird chain reaction where the explosive fuel blows itself up. And they're all just wiping each other out. That's interesting. Funny. The problem is we lose the energy multiplier. So I don't think it's worth it. Okay. I should probably prestige after this next one, though. Hey, do we have anything else? I'll go for the fuel HP. The extra materials wouldn't be bad either. Yeah, we're close. But I think we prestige after this next one. Just because this is going that much slower, and I bet prestiging a couple of times is going to get me, like, mega booster. Okay, do we want to go back to this? Massively increase the amount of damage that has. Alright, there we go. There's our prestige points. But yeah, getting to the next tier is gonna be slow. So I think at this point, we go for the prestige. Reset energy 0. All energy tab upgrades reactor level to 11. Only 11, that's not bad. Okay. Better cooldown time is reduced. A lot of these are expensive. Yeah, I mean, I think we're just going to grab all of them. Okay, so we're at Reactor 11. So that's actually kind of nice. Oops. Okay, wait. Oh. Oh, this barely kicked me back at all. Like, for a prestige, this is kind of nothing. Okay, I think I'm just going to go for quantity of materials for a moment. Okay, there we go. That's a nice quantity. You know what? I'm going to make my life easier. This is like the most permissive prestige system I think I've seen in a while, or I just skipped a lot of the really drudgy steps. It's really difficult to tell. Alright, that should give us some bonuses. Oh. So it didn't actually reset our research. Cripes, man. Yeah, this is nothing. Wait. Oh, we didn't even lose this stuff. Why even have a prestige at this point? I guess just for farming prestige points, I suppose. Okay. Just boost those. Because, yeah, it reset the reactor level. It means that I can get a bunch of the basic points. Cripes. Okay. Just gonna get a lot of these into the 20 millions. Alright, how else are we looking? So, fuel per second. Energy core, some other stuff. I don't know. A lot of these were kind of slow on, but that's okay. We don't really need to care deeply about any of them. So if I were to initiate a prestige, I could get this one. 50 material. Reactor level up time is halved. That's permanent. Cripes. I think we're still going to shoot for at least 2 upgrades. Currently we're set to get 1. And I think it can do better than that. Okay, so that's 36. Let me take a look at other prestige. So this one costs 22. Effective resonant fuel. We don't have resonant fuel. I don't know if there's a way that I can mix them either. Which is unfortunate, because I'd like to be able to send out 2 types of material simultaneously. But that one's looking like it might be a little while. The problem is I'm at 36. 36 only gets me 1. So igniter damage up. Effective rad particles is boosted. We also have orbit smash. Core orbiter damage increased to 1.5. Each core will leech 3% of total energy output. Cores will independently unleash a plasma lance that does igniter damage to fuel anywhere in the reactor. Yeah, some of those seem extremely good. Yeah, let's just boost the rest of these. Yeah, the problem is, well, I guess those lances are going to be the big boost, aren't they? I'm just going to mix a couple of these heaters in. Hopefully they won't get in my way too much. They are. Because, yeah, I'm losing an amount of my igniters to the center of the mass. Okay, that should be good. And back to auto fuel. Bump. Boost the enricher. I mean, pretty much just boost all of these. Whatever can be boosted, we boost. That's still a ways off, unfortunately. Okay, 12 prestige points. Puts me at 48, which would let me get 2 upgrades. So, yeah, I think we initiate a prestige, because we want to grab that one. That's just 50 extra materials, and level up time is reduced. Nav tab. Unlock the nav tab. Okay. So I haven't done resonant fuel. Igniter damage is up. Rad particles is doubled. I think I'm going to go for igniter damage. Okay. I don't have that much, but that's fine. Because we can just buy a ton of material with this. Okay, there we go. Go for a pump. Yeah, we seem to be just going back to resonance level 11. Let's see, my science situation's looking fine. Just boost all these bits of damage. And yeah, we're speed running almost every single one of the basic prestiges that we were at earlier. Yeah, reducing that level up time is sufficiently wild. Oops, should not drag my cursor through that. Yeah, I think we want to save up for Core Lance if we can get it. Because I think we want to make it so that my igniters actually have some reach here. Is it 64 or 66? We can just do it now. So Core Lance, cores will independently unleash a plasma lance that deals igniter damage to fuel anywhere in the reactor. Like, some of the rest of this stuff is very good, but this one gives us a range. Because these are cores, right? Gosh, I hope so. Okay, could do like a couple more. Yeah, why even... I do kind of feel like the prestige system is a little silly considering how many upgrades I can carry over with me. It's not that I'm starting over. I just immediately go right back up to my shenanigans, but with a boost. Oh, do we not have cores? Because I'm trying to figure out what this core lance is for. And I am unsure. I guess let's work on that one, because that at least has some merit. Yeah, so that's 44. Level up time is quartered. Resonance multiplier plus 5 or 5 times. Ship parts. Okay. Yeah, we just need to crank this damage so that we don't have the fuel sticking around as much. Does it even matter? I don't know. Switch back to these. We're at 60. Yeah, the next tier of prestige is going to be a little tricky. I could potentially get more heaters. Actually, I'm going to switch back to this. We're going to get some more igniters. That should be good enough. Right, I should probably be boosting my flask factories. Let's see. Oh. Core elements and unlock tab. Yeah, that's resonant fuel. Oh god, that's expensive though. And it does seem like the next prestige is still a ways away. Otherwise, we can keep prestiging. Okay, so I got 60. Let's grab all 3 and rad particles. Alright, so far so good. Back to this. Just boost these basic stats. High as I can go. And yeah, it seems like going back to prestige level, reactor level 11 is more or less just means we can speed run and get a bunch of these. Okay, I see this. What are these? Ship parts. Okay, but we haven't unlocked navigation yet. So that's for slightly later. Oh. Research per flask. Oh boy. I was wondering where that upgrade would show up. I don't think I can build ships yet. We're very close to, though. Okay, just try and get a number of these into the billions. That energy multiplier is kind of insane. Oh, there's the nav tab. Okay. Location, Capri Sun System, Fishtonian Frontier Space. Cryo Dreaming, the Victory and Cryo panels will unlock when enough total energy is produced. Gathering energy. Okay. Number of fuel injection nozzles in the reactor, heat modifier in the reactor. So, let's see. Effective enrichers in the reactor. Research value of flasks. Okay, pollination we don't know anything about. Pollen shifts for use when cryo-dreaming. Cryo-dreaming ends when the last pollen ship is lost. Oh, number of fuel injection nozzles. But I think I'm going to spend most of my parts just boosting research. Oh, that's pretty. And also nutty looking. Man, this is why I love incremental games. When you hit that, like, new progression threshold in the game, it's just like, hey, we're goofy now. There's nothing quite like it. Core elements and energy tab upgrade for core orbiters. Fuel sequencer. Programming of fuel injection. Okay. When triggered by igniters, releases an orbiter that damages fuel it touches. Okay. I'm going to turn an amount of this off. Let's just let that slow down. Okay, so these are the cores. That should be good. We were admittedly low on material. Oh. Okay, so now we're going to be tossing explosives and radioactive fuel. Okay, let's try that. We don't need that much explosive fuel. Okay, more research per flask. And I probably have more resources than I know what to do with. I think the main thing is, I don't think we even want the explosive fuel. What we want is the resonant fuel. Okay. Unfortunately, resonance is a little far and a ways from what we're at. Now, the one thing I could do is actually prestige. I think so. Okay. Pump time is doubled. Ooh. I can get 2 of these. So yeah, let's grab auth 4 and pump time. Okay, we'll ignore the cores for the moment. Okay, let's scale these things up a bunch. Get all those prestige levels. Yeah, I could just prestige a bunch of times. Leave a number of these things going. I'm so glad I have the auto clicker, because this would suck otherwise. Alright. Big pumpy. God, why did I say that? Doesn't matter. Alright, there we go. Ooh, that extra pump duration is pretty nutty. How are we doing science-wise? Halfway there. Yeah, I'll pick up the low-hanging fruit. There's really no reason not to. Okay. So that's still going to take a while. We're getting about, what, 3 million per tick? Okay, how are we doing on nav? Not too many parts. Okay, cryo, or energy per second, cryo dream. Start cryo dream. Cryo dreaming multiplies current energy production with the accelerated time earned during the dream. Oh my god. Are we... We're playing Flappy Birds. Kind of. Okay, accelerated time 3 minutes 11 seconds. Oh. We can warp to our next... What? Location 2, the Water Moons. Communication detected. Glub glub to you, traveler. Welcome to the many worlds of Fishtonia. All this galaxy is our ocean, or it will be, I should say. It's in our nature to swim ever outwards. But I digress. Your presence is surely a gift of the progenitor, meant to bring our salvation. Glubzaw! The sensors read your genetic materials a 90% match for ours, but yet... Fascinating, Glub. You must proceed directly to Panlasia, our capital world. There is so much our cultures have to share. Take this item as a token of our esteem. You can equip it at the top of your screen, Glob. But can I discombobulate? Chickenfoot, fuel per second. Cripes, man. It's Flappy Birds, kind of, sort of. Okay, that's a lot of energy. Cripes. Okay, back to this. We should probably go back to upgrading these things. As I have more resources than I know what to do with. Okay. Well, we can now get the resonant material. Increases resonance. Okay. I'm just going to mix both of those. Let's actually turn auto fuel off now that I'm thinking about it. Or, well, while we're pumping, I don't know. Okay, leave it for a second. Actually, 10 times. I'm just gonna get a couple of cores. So they might be overkill. Might be overkill. Might also just be unnecessary. I don't know. Oh my god. How many... Okay, there's the Oh, cripes. Probably just boost a couple of these. Oh, there's our prestige points. Okay, let's go back to total material. Yeah, that'll get us a nice bonus. Very mesmerizing. Okay, more nav parts. I think... Wait, no. We don't want to do it yet. Now we probably want to do it. Now's a good time to prestige. Okay. Ship parts 25. Energy multiplier time... Oh my god. Okay. Energy tab upgrades will not reset when you prestige. Unlocks the prestige kernel upgrades. Yeah, let's grab that. Okay, Lance Flash. Cooldown between pumps is halved. Okay, grab all of those. Okay, we also have kernel power, but I don't want to upgrade that yet. I mean, have to do. Yeah, so we need the fuel per second to actually be able to offload a lot of these. And that is okay. And this is the last time I have to buy all of these upgrades, which is actually going to speed things along dramatically. Okay, let's go back to this. I don't know. Research per flask. 10 materials, or... let's get 10 materials for now. Get a lot of these into the just basic billions mark, if I can get them there. Get these up, because that resonance multiplier is extremely powerful. And yeah, since I don't actually have to upgrade or spend resources on upgrading these after this, we can start prestiging a lot more often. Because up until now, it's been kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, do I want to get a bunch of nav parts? Yeah, that'll be helpful. And then back to igniter damage. Yeah, get everything into the trillions at this point. Pretty comfortable. Oh gosh, I've gone over time. I'm having a good time though. This is actually a really good incremental game. Like I said, it was one of those where the initial bit you kind of have to suffer through, but then after you get past that point, it's just like instantly so much more active, so much more management, so much faster. All right, let's do another prestige. Because at this point, I can just buy every single one of these upgrades. Well, not all of them, but still. Effective rad particles is tripled. It's pretty good. Fuel pump is pumping. Increased heat multiplier. That's pretty good. Okay, effective resonance fuel is doubled. Doubles the buff of synchronic. I think I'm going to go for rad particles as tripled. And then grab these two. Okay, I think that's good. I think that'll be good. Okay. So yeah, now we have all of these upgrades so we don't have to worry about investing nearly as many points. Hopefully there's an upgrade that just keeps my layout. But I'm not sure if that's going to remain true. Okay, let's go back to navigation, because I can actually afford a couple more things. Pollination allows pollen chips. Oh, so it's the amount of pollen chips I have. Got it. Effective enrichers, heat modifiers. I don't think we need more nozzles. Okay, go for that. Do a cryo dream. Yeah, so these are the pollen chips. And unfortunately, a number of them just, don't last. Ultimately cannot survive. But that's fine. Yeah, that's, is that quadrillion? Probably. Well, we can warp to the next moon. Shoot, I really gotta end this video. Let's talk to this person. Blessings of the waves be upon you, traveler. Hail the glory of the progenitor. This is Panlassia, home to 160 trillion Fishtonian citizens, all free, all living in the moment. It's really groovy. We know no boundaries in these waters, Glub. Be they of species, language, or culture. Indeed, Fishtonia is a state of mind that transcends worlds. Yet we suffer an existential threat. We are at war with Crustacea. We have always been at war with Crustacea. Why, you ask? Well, it sickens me to say it. Those monsters would consume us. They would munch us down like krill. And we have the grace to attempt to continue negotiations. I suppose you're wondering when I'll get to the glubbing point, ho? I've a peace offering that I wish you to deliver to the Crustacean Emperor. Thermidor, too, you will know its meaning. It's my fervent hope you can bring an end to this terrible war, Glub Glub. May you swim on swift waters. Farewell. Adieu. Wasn't that like a plot of something recently? I'm trying to remember what this was. But there was definitely like a story where like in-universe humans were delicious. And so the aliens were like actively hunting humans down because tasty. I forget. Oh, right. We also have this. Base energy multiplier times 100. Oh, God. This is just so stupid. Like, any amount of upgrades just kind of become meaningless once you get to this point. And that's okay. Oh, hi. So now we can just spend resources on stat upgrades, like everything else. There is nothing else to research. Just go nuts. Alright. Well. Shall I prestige one more time? I think so. Okay. Core orbiter damage increased by igniter damage, leech multiplier, lava pump. Probably just go for those. I mean, we're just working our way up. Anyway, I think at this point, I might as well mention that Feed the Reactor is available now on Steam, so if you do want to pick it up and play it yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. It's a good time if you like incremental games. If you, well, I mean, especially if you like incremental games. I'm going to take these back. We want to have at least 2 more rounds of these, I think. There we go. That should be good enough. Why is it going for the explosives? I don't understand. Why is that the default one? Oh, it doesn't matter. Anywho, I guess with all this said, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like. It helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe because I got tons to check out and show off. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.